Hey guys, this is Alfred back with another video, and in today's video I just want to talk about the new 5.0 banners which are coming out. So this will be the first few banners for Natalan, and I'll be talking about whether or not these banners are actually worth your PRIMOGEMS or not. Now before we start every single one of these videos, please pull for your waifus and husbandos. This is a gacha game. Please pull for your favorite characters. Doesn't mean a character is good, means you should pull for them even if you don't like their playstyle. Obviously, if you're here for a meta perspective, I'm here to give you guys my opinions on which of these characters are worth pulling for your account. And with all that said, let's begin with this video. Now, the first ever banner for Natalan features Mualani and Kazuha. Let's talk about Mualani first. So from the trailer, it looks like Mualani will do a lot of hydro damage, and her damage scales basically on how many times you can bite your opponents or enemies with the shark. Now, we don't know her exact damage numbers yet, but it looks like she will be doing a lot of damage as long as you're able to constantly bite opponents. And you probably want to be playing her with vaporized teams where you can just do explosive amount of damage to your opponents. I feel like Mualani is the good pickup as a first Natalan character for your account. However, if you have a lot of Hydro DPS in your account already, then you don't really need Mualani. Alongside her, we have Kazuha. Kazuha used to be the best support in the game. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean he isn't the best support, means he is really bad. He has fallen off a little bit, but he is still very relevant in team building. He is still very flexible in the amount of teams you can run. Obviously, nowadays, if you're going to be playing Hyper Bloom or Burgeon, you won't really be running Kazuha, but your traditional elemental reaction teams like Vaporize or even Electro Charge teams, Kazuha is just fantastic. And the best part is, if you're planning to play Mualani, you can definitely use Kazuha to support her as well, because you probably want to be using Mualani in a Vaporize team. Kazuha is very good in supporting her that way. Therefore, if you want a very good anemo support, it's definitely going to be Kazuha. Alright, for the second banners, we have Kinich and Raiden Shogun. Let's talk about Kinich first. Kinich is a Dendro Burgeon DPS, so this is very new for Genshin Impact, and the best part is that he is main DPS, something like Alhaitam, but the way he's going to be doing more of his damage is by doing damage to Burgeon and burning enemies. Like I said, ever since the tier list video, I feel like Hoyoverse is really pushing for Burgeon and burning to be a very good reaction, and now with the release of characters who can interact and utilize Burgeon very well, Burgeon is probably on the track to being one of the better reaction teams they can play right now. So if you have pulled Emily and you have a lot of Burgeon setup, especially with Dea and Toma and other Dendro and Pyro characters, you can definitely pull for Kinich. However, if you're not planning to play Burgeon and you're not planning to play Burning, you don't have that reaction in the back of your mind, then you don't really have to pull Kinich. So next on the list, we have Raiden Shogun, the strongest Electro character in the game. In my opinion, if there is one character you should pull out of this whole banner, it's gonna be Raiden Shogun. She is just very fantastic. You can play her as a main DPS Raiden Shogun in a national team. You can also be playing her as a battery for your other Electro characters like Yaimiko. And finally, you can also be playing her in a Hyper Bloom team, which is the best way you can play a Electro team right now. Obviously, the standard Raiden Shogun is probably still better than the Hyper Bloom Raiden Shogun, but if you have decent artifacts for her, you can play Hyper Bloom Raiden Shogun. And the best part is, for Raiden Shogun, if you already have her and you want her to be even stronger, I strongly recommend you get Constellation 2. I used to be playing Constellation 0 Raiden Shogun. The moment I switched to Constellation 2 Raiden Shogun, she's able to keep up with the meta and in fact still do the most damage for my teams in the Spiral Abyss. So definitely, if you already have Raiden Shogun, try to get her to Constellation 2. If not, just getting one copy of Raiden Shogun is completely safe. So in conclusion, for the first banners for Natalan, in my opinion, it is very stacked. A lot of these characters are very good, especially for newer Natalan characters. A lot of people will want to roll for them, but if you ask me which one is a must roll, it's probably going to be Raiden Shogun and Kazuha. These two characters have stood the test of time and they're still very relevant even with the metas changing right now in Genshin Impact. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like videos like this, please do leave a like. It shows me I should do more. Comment down below who you will be pulling for the first ever Natalan banner in Genshin Impact, and finally do subscribe. We'll be doing more of these videos in the future, and with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.